家好，歡迎大家出席第8屆黃金時代展覽暨高峰會2023嘅開幕典禮。我係今日嘅司儀鄧添樂，大家好。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 8th Golden Age Exhibition and Summit 2023 GAES Opening Ceremony. I'm Anita.
喺我同 Anita 身邊咧，大家會見到有一位非常之可愛嘅小 MC 喺度喎。我哋咧請佢介紹下自己好唔好啊？你點稱呼啊？你叫咩名啊？
黃希月。
黃希月，你今年幾多歲？
地對。
地歲。你係來自聖公會邊一個社會服務中心㗎？諗一諗先啊！你係來自聖公會聖約瑟堂。
幼稚園。
唔係幼稚園啊，係聖公會聖約瑟堂暨社會服務中心嘅。一齊俾熱烈嘅掌聲！我身邊兩位拍檔。
Welcome my partners, Locke and Amber from SKH St. Joseph's Church and Social Centre.
而家有請我哋嘅主禮嘉賓，由聖公會聖約瑟堂暨社會服務中心小童軍帶領進場。
Please welcome our guests of honor, led by the Scout Group from SKH St. Joseph's Church and Social Centre. Welcome.
有請各位嘉賓就座。為大家介紹我哋嘅主辦機構黃金時代基金會已經係第8次舉辦黃金時代展覽暨高峰會，而今年嘅大會主題就係靈活創新，引領未來。
Golden Age Foundation is hosting the 8th Golden Age Exhibition and Summit. This year, our theme is Transform with Agility.
好開心，我哋今年有嚟自不同國家同界別嘅朋友出席黃金時代展覽暨高峰會。喺未來幾日嘅高峰會，大部分嘅時間都係設有即時嘅傳譯，希望大家可以同世界各地嘅安老產業能夠接軌。
We are delighted to have friends from different countries and backgrounds attending the GAES this year. In the upcoming days, most of the summit sections will be equipped with real-time interpretation services, allowing everyone to connect with the global elderly care industry. We hope that this will facilitate global engagement and collaboration.
喺開始我哋嘅致辭環節之前，有請我哋嘅小 MC 咧，先到台下休息一陣先，因為咧陣間佢會有個非常之重要嘅任務要做㗎。咁即將咧開始我哋嘅開幕致辭環節，首先有請黃金時代基金會創辦人及主席容蔡美碧女士到台上致開幕詞。
May we now invite Mrs. Rebecca Choi Yong, founder and chair of Golden Age Foundation, to deliver the opening remarks. Thank you, Mrs. Rebecca.
Good morning, Mr. Chris Sun, Dr. Karoline SCHMID, Dr. 梁志雄、海偉, distinguished guests, and among us there are many distinguished guests, including our former CS, Mr. Matthew Zhang, and Bernard Chen, our Undersecretary for Commerce and Economic Development, and many friends from near and afar. It is my greatest pleasure to welcome you all to the 8th Golden Age Expo and Summit, where we'll focus on exploring how we can transform the aging society with agility. It has already been 3 years since the COVID evolved as a global pandemic. COVID has indeed altered and reshaped many pressing social needs related to demographic change. Now that all international borders are open, it's time for us to regain our momentum and work towards providing new solutions for our aging communities. While longevity presents a range of challenges, including increased demand for housing, healthcare, pension costs, but we do need a new form of social support for golden ages, that is, people who are 45 and above. However, it does pose new opportunities never before. This means embracing innovation on all fronts, from new technologies and business models to new ways of thinking about aging and the role of older adults in our society. It means working collectively and collaboratively across disciplines, sectors, and geographies, drawing on collective knowledge and expertise of diverse communities to find creative and sustainable solutions in the post-pandemic era. Over the years, our foundation has been working hand in hand with the private and public sectors to carry out pilot projects, engagement forums and research, experimenting with innovative solutions to transform the lives of our citizens. These projects have paved a new path for an increasing number of purpose-driven businesses to fill new and upcoming market demands, making the smart aging industry the most promising emerging industry. But there is still room for growth through ongoing social innovation, more cross-sector collaboration, and technological breakthroughs. This year, as you can see, the Expo will showcase the results of these new initiatives alongside with thousands of cutting-edge products and services, including retirement living plans, mobility services, home care products, houseware products, healthcare products, financial services, social and educational services from Hong Kong and other parts of the world, providing visitors with a one-stop life experience for smart aging. You may sample new products and services that the mainland, Macau, and Taiwan have to offer. You can discover the latest solutions at the Smart Aging Award Zone at the end of the hall. And don't forget to say hi to our smart aging robots that we affectionately refer to as Dr. Golden, Kim Yi San, Kim Zai, and Kim Bo Lo. Under our professional supervision and also our volunteers' engagement, they have been instrumental in helping local private elderly homes transform and thrive throughout the pandemic and after. Concurrently, the summit will focus on new and hot topics on smart aging, including agile business and financial models, innovations in senior dining, housing and elderly care, as well as development in developing our talent pool, and many more. With an exciting lineup of performances and demonstrations over the next 3 days, we have gathered around 100 prominent local and overseas speakers to deliver 30 sections here at this summit stage and also at the Smart Aging Zone at the entrance to the hall. This event has not only been held as the most impactful forum for thought leadership and good practices, it has also provided important networking and partnership opportunities for our participants from all parts of China, Asia, and the rest of the world. Let's remain innovative in minds, agile in our strategy, and light on our feet as we continue to be proactive and responsive to the aging population's needs and build an inclusive society that values and supports both older and younger adults. In closing, I would like to thank all of you for being here, especially our partners, sponsors, supporting organizations, advisors, and committee members for their unwavering support. My heartiest gratitude also goes to over 200 dedicated volunteers aged from 4 to 90 years old who have worked very hard to make this event possible. I wish you all a most rewarding and enjoyable time here and hope that you will bring home many inspirations and resources that aging brings us. Thank you.
多謝晒 Rebecca， 請 Rebecca 先到台下就座。現在掌聲有請勞工及福利局局長孫玉菡先生 JP 致辭。
Now, we would like to invite Mr. Sun Yuk Han Chris, JP, Secretary for Labour and Welfare, HKSAR, to deliver a speech.
容蔡美碧主席，Miss Karoline SCHMID， 梁志雄醫生，仲有我嘅前輩，我嘅前領導張建宗教授張教授大家都好認識佢噶啦，佢係我哋前政務司司長亦都係勞工及福利局局長所以今日我講嘅好多嘅課題咧， 其實都係建基於張教授當時有宏大嘅眼光嚇，佢都鋪咗個好好嘅道路，等我哋佢嘅後人咧嚇可以即係好好去發揮嚇。仲有就係蔡海偉先生啦嚇，同埋今日在座咁多位好嘅朋友啊。今天好高興可以再一次參與今日咁盛大嘅一個論壇嚇。諗起舊年嘅時候咧，其實安排都類近嘅，都係有小童軍小朋友陪同我哋去入場啦。唯獨舊年嘅時候咧，就大家都係仍然係疫情期間，大家咧仍然都係要戴住口罩嚇。所以今日好開心可以見翻大家，就見到嘅一個完整嘅面貌啊！舊年見到嘅咧就係見到隻眼，要估下究竟其實佢嘅口啊鼻啊係咩模樣嘅。咁今天好開心可以見到一個大家一個完全嘅面貌，同埋大家都精神奕奕嚇。今日個論壇咧亦都延續咗過去嘅精神嘅嚇，就係講緊一個漸漸年長嘅社會點樣可以更好發揮自己嘅動力。我理解咧其實年長咧並唔可怕嘅，年長咧並唔代表你係冇生產力嘅。如果我哋好好運用好我哋嘅長者嘅群體，其實我哋好多長者佢飽讀詩書，社會經驗好豐富嚇。咁用好佢哋嘅話咧，對香港咧其實會帶來好多裨益啊！唔係淨係經濟嘅價值嘅，尤其是對後輩嘅提攜咧，點樣令到社會可以更好進步咧，係變化非常之大。但毋庸置疑嘅咧，就係隨住我哋香港嘅社會進入老齡化嚇，今天大家都好熟悉嘅啦，可以朗朗上口咧，就我哋約莫21%啦嘅人口，接近150萬左右咧，就已經係65歲或者以上嚇。隨住我哋人口老齡化增加嘅話咧，對於點樣可以照顧好我哋嘅老人家咧，個需求係越嚟越大嚇。其實政府咧就一直都持之以恆咁樣咧，喺唔同嘅方面做功夫啊。呢度我就唔再一一講啦。其實不外乎包含幾件事嘅啫。一就係我哋嘅資源投入錢要有啦，要足夠。第二咧揾地方啊，冇地方咧就有錢都不能成事。大家都見到㗎啦，政府都用最大嘅努力咧去揾地方。三咧就係人啊，亦都見到過去1年咧，政府做咗好多功夫，無論係培育本地人才，定係揾出面嘅輸入嘅外勞去應對我哋人手個嚴重短缺咧，我哋一一都做咗。但係咧，其實除咗呢3樣嘢之外咧，有一樣咁緊要嘅，其實就係創新科技，係嘛？即係其實創新科技咧，無論對於人地錢咧，都係有一個加速器嘅作用嘅。如果我冇創新冇科技，我唯一一個解決方法咧就係不斷加多啲錢，加多啲人，加多啲地方。但係人錢地方始終有限制。點樣可以喺有限嘅錢、有限嘅地方、有限人嘅情況下面用盡佢嘅話咧，似乎全世界都係睇住兩件事㗎啦。一個就係制度嘅創新、做法嘅創新；第二咧就係通過科技嘅手段咧嚟發掘更多嘅潛在價值嚇。所以今天咧我好高興嚇，我知道今日嘅論壇咧都包含咗衣食住行嘅嚇，咁所以每一方面咧，大家都通過今次嘅展覽同埋論壇咧，可以展示一下可以點樣更加用科技、用創新嚟解決我哋因為老齡化而帶嚟嘅問題嚇。喺我眼中咧，有問題即係有挑戰啦，有挑戰即係要諗解決方法。你要解決咧，即係要有動力，要有組織能力嚇。隨住我哋嘅動力、組織能力，再加上大家嘅決心咧，我相信一定係諗到方法嘅。有咗方法解決咧，問題就變成呢個價值。即係你解決到個問題，唔係淨係同香港有關啦。如果我哋俾人哋走前一步解決到一個問題，其他地方當佢遇到同樣問題嘅時候咧，佢必定要嚟香港取經嚇。咁呢度咧令到香港可以實現到我哋一個國際城市嘅價值嚇。喺我眼中咧，國際城市除咗話我哋一個金融嘅大都會，除咗係一個國際貿易大都會以外咧，其實我哋喺社福方面，尤其是喺呢個區域，我始終認為咧，香港係處於一個領先嘅狀態嚟嘅嚇。我哋好多地方咧係做得夠細、夠全，同埋咧係多元化嚇。呢個香港同其他地方分別好大。我哋整個社福界咧，其實係好靠我哋數以百計甚至千計嘅大家都熟悉嘅 NGO 嚇。大家一齊努力啊！亦都經過商界、政府嘅支援咧，我哋其實做咗好多好好嘅功夫。我希望咧，我哋會搞更多嘅論壇、更多嘅展覽，將我哋嘅好嘅地方咧 展現俾世界睇，等大家知道咧，香港除咗係一個金融大都會，除咗一個貿易大都會之外咧，其實我哋喺社福方面咧，都係處於一個領先嘅位置。我哋關心我哋嘅老人家，我哋關心我哋嘅弱勢社群。所以呢度咧，再一次祝賀論壇。我相信論壇咧會一如既往咧取得圓滿嘅成功。多謝大家。
多謝晒孫局長嘅分享。請孫局長先到台下就座。現在有請聯合國經濟和社會事務部人口出生育率和人口老齡化科主管 Karoline SCHMID 博士為我哋帶嚟主題演講。
Now, we'd like to invite Dr. Karoline SCHMID, Chief, Fertility and Population Division, Aging, United Nations, to deliver the keynote speech on innovation and transformation with agility.
Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Chris Sun, JP, Secretary for Labor and Welfare, Excellencies, I'm very honored to have been given the opportunity by the Golden Age Foundation to address you all at the opening of this year's summit with the theme, Transform with Agility. I bring greetings from the United Nations Secretariat that has a long history of involvement in population aging that started with the convening of the first World Assembly on Aging in Vienna 40 years ago in 1982. The work on aging is currently led by 2 divisions in the Department of Economic and Social Affairs, the Division for Inclusive Social Development and the Population Division, where I work. Both divisions engage in policy-oriented research on aging, report to and support intergovernmental processes, and provide technical expertise to countries upon request. We also collaborate with the World Health Organization in the implementation of the Decade of Healthy Aging, as mandated by the United Nations General Assembly in 2020. Further information on the work of the United Nations on Aging can be found on the websites of both divisions that will be provided in the PowerPoint presentation. Preparing for this opening statement, I was inspired by a discussion on innovation and change at the United Nations that I followed recently. I want to bring one key message that emanated from these discussions to you to set the stage for this summit. Innovation does not mean the need to change headsets. We need to change mindsets. Innovation, as understood in this discussion, needs to bring about environments that encourage creativity, risk-taking, and continuous learning. It goes beyond simple problem solving. It is about viewing challenges as opportunities for groundbreaking ideas and solutions. To implement this change of mindset, we need to bust the myth that all older persons are weak and powerless and poor. We need to challenge misconceptions and negative stereotypes associated with older adults. So how do we bust these myths? First, we need to bust the myth that aging populations are a burden on economies. Older adults can and do make significant economic contributions. They often possess valuable skills, knowledge, and experience gathered over a lifetime of work. Many older persons continue to work, they start businesses, or engage in volunteer activities, contributing to the productivity, innovation, and economic growth. We know from data from the International Labour Organization that many older persons are working longer. According to a working longer scenario prepared by the Organization of Economic Development, in 2018, an 11% rise in real GDP per capita in 2050 could be expected on average in OECD countries if only a quarter of those people aged 50 to 79 who are not in work today would be working in 2050. Second, older persons do hold consumer power. Older adults account for a considerable portion of consumer spending that drives economic activity in various sectors. According to the American Association of Retired Persons in the United States alone, adults age 50 and older have an annual spending power of over 7.6 trillion US dollars. Third, older persons are active agents in their societies and communities. They often engage in volunteering, mentorship, and community involvement, sharing their wisdom, skills, and experiences. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, they have demonstrated how much they can contribute to society. For example, by coming out of retirement as doctors and nurses, or taking care of family members in times of need. Fourth, older persons' health and well-being is diverse. While aging is associated with health challenges, we need to recognize that not all older persons experience poor health. Many lead active and healthy lives, engage in physical activity, and maintain social connections, and seek preventive health care. Fifth, the myth that older persons cannot learn new skills or adapt to new technologies is debunked by the fact that their continued engagement in education and learning shows results. Older adults can acquire knowledge, develop digital literacy, and engage in lifelong learning, contributing to personal growth and professional development. Debunking these myths calls on governments to support policy changes and societal adaptations that recognize the potential and contributions of older adults. Policies promoting active aging, age-friendly environments, healthcare accessibility, and employment opportunities can support older adults' well-being and societal engagement. Now that we have passed some of the myths related to aging and older persons, I want to turn our focus on the key elements that drive innovation and transformation in a sustainable way. First, we need data, data, and data. We need all sorts of data to drive innovation. For example, we need demographic data about life expectancy and related gender differences. We need to know more about household and living arrangements of older persons. We also need economic data on sources of income, as well as disposable income to assess spending capacity. And we need to have an idea of the economic value of keeping older persons in the workforce. And of course, we need to have health-related and healthcare-related data. And certainly, we need information on government expenditures, on healthcare, pensions, and so on. We also do need strategic foresight. More can be done and more can be accomplished with government foresight, mid to long-term strategic planning, and policy and lawmaking, and the allocation of needed resources. We at the United Nations call particularly on governments to ensure that aging and old age concerns are integrated in all policy areas at the national and international levels. Ageism and age discrimination prevent innovation and therefore need to be eliminated. We call on government to lead the way. Putting financing of social protection and healthcare systems on a sustainable path calls on all sectors of government to think out of the box and to identify new ways of meeting the demands for support of those in need. Governments need to take the lead and to engage with the private sector, with civil society, and older persons themselves to drive innovation in all spheres of life. We also need performance and results orientation. We all need to collaborate, government, the private sector, and civil society, to ensure that our work is focused on impact, learning, and continuous improvement. We need to set goals, define key indicators, and measure progress towards those. We need to assess the performance and look at results. We need to check what works and what doesn't, and continuously seek means and ways to improve our processes. Now, briefly, some practical examples of innovations that drive to transform aging societies all over the world. First, business transform aging societies. For example, many phone companies have developed phones with larger buttons and easy-to-use interfaces and promote digital inclusion through targeted training for older persons to use smartphones, tablets, and digital devices. Car makers such as Toyota, but also Ford and Audi, develop mobility solutions for older persons. Another example is the beauty industry that is discovering the growing market for anti-aging products for aging women, anxious about the changes brought by menopause to their image. Sidelining older consumers could, according to the International Longevity Centre in the UK, cause, in the case of the British beauty industry, an estimated 11 billion British pounds loss of revenue over the next 20 years. Further, the tourism industry is recognizing the growing market of the so-called silver hair travelers by offering a wide range of packages that cater to the diverse needs, interests, cultures, and wallets of this growing population segment. And the food and hospitality industries have been developing products designed for older persons, catering to their dietary needs, portion sizes, and ease of consumption. Also, age-friendly living arrangements that allow for aging in place transform societies. The World Health Organization's Age-Friendly Cities and Communities program has been instrumental to responding to the desire of older persons to age in place. It provides resources and a platform for collaboration and support cities in creating environments that enhance the quality of life for people of all ages, focusing on the needs and aspirations of older adults. Examples of cities where this has already been successfully implemented are Barcelona in Spain, Manchester in the United Kingdom, and Tokyo in Japan. This initiative also promotes intergenerational programs that foster interaction and understanding between different age groups. Encouraging international initiatives in education, housing, and community activities can promote social cohesion, address ageism, and tap into the strengths of diverse generations. Here are some examples. One example is the Humanitas Deventer in the Netherlands, a pioneering intergenerational living community where students receive free accommodation and exchange for spending a minimum of 30 hours with older adults. Another example that stands out because it's specifically designed for older women is the Les Babayage, located in Montreuil in France. In the south of Germany, the Anna Haag multi-generational home aims to connect people from different age groups through various activities to learn from each other. And in Asia, in Singapore, for example, intergenerational learning campuses is an innovative community that brings together a childcare center, a senior care center, and a nursing home in the same complex. The third area where innovation is critical is the area of providing sustainable and affordable care. Innovative approaches to cross-border care of older persons are currently being developed right here in Hong Kong between the People's Republic of China and Hong Kong SAR of China as a response to the need for specialized care for older persons. Governments in both entities play a role in developing policies and providing support for this initiative. Successfully building thriving, agile, innovative, and transformative aging societies demand from governments and key stakeholders an acceptance that the growing number of older persons can no longer be ignored or seen as idle recipients of welfare or social support. We also need to recognize that older adults are not a homogeneous group, but rather diverse with varying abilities, interests, and backgrounds. They must be an integral, active, and engaged part of all their societies and must be active and work to the extent that they can and want to and be engaged in all aspects of life. We at the United Nations believe that the Madrid International Plan of Action on Aging, adopted in 2002, as well as the Sustainable Development Goals, adopted as part of the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda by the world leaders, call on governments to lay the groundwork for thriving societies, to fulfill their pledge to leave no one behind. The world right now is at a critical juncture in human history, and the decisions we make and the actions we take today will have momentous consequences for future generations. In closing, I would like to invite you to follow the summit and to also visit the expo that will showcase many more examples of best practices and innovations that provide many new and creative ideas to keep Hong Kong and other societies thriving. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Karoline SCHMID. Please remain on stage.
接住落嚟，我哋有請主禮團成員，由黃金時代基金會創辦人及主席容蔡美碧女士陪同到台上。
We would like to invite the members of the Guests of Honor Group, accompanied by Mrs. Rebecca Choi Yong, founder and chair of the Golden Age Foundation, to come on stage.
包括有勞工及福利局局長孫玉菡先生 JP。Mr.
Sung Yuk Han Chris, JP, Secretary for Labour and Welfare.
除此之外，仲有安老事務委員會前主席梁志雄醫生 GBM GBS JP。Dr.
Edward Long Chi Hong, GBM GBS JP, former Chairman of Elderly Commission.
香港社會服務聯會社聯行政總裁蔡海偉先生。
Mr. Chai Hoi Wai, Chief Executive of the Hong Kong Council of Social Service.
聯同台上聯合國經濟和社會事務部人口出生育率和人口老齡化科主管 Karoline SCHMID 博士。
Dr. Karoline SCHMID, Chief Fertility and Population Aging Section at Population Division, United Nations.
我哋即將準備我哋嘅開幕儀式，見到咧我哋台上嘅主禮嘉賓前面有6隻嘅陪伴小伙伴啊，每一隻嘅小伙伴都有佢哋嘅名稱嘅喎，包括就係金仔同埋金菠蘿啦。我哋稍後一齊數3聲，請各位嘅主禮嘉賓啟動我哋嘅陪伴小伙伴，為今次嘅活動展開序幕。準備咯喎，預備 ，3、2、1。
靈活創新，引領未來。第8屆
黃金時代
展覽暨高峰會2023
正式開始。多謝晒我哋嘅小 MC 為我哋開始咗呢一個開幕儀式，可以翻到台下面休息咯喎，落去食雪糕咯喎。
The 8th Golden Age Exhibition and Summit 2023 officially begins.
請台上嘅主禮嘉賓望向我哋正前方嘅攝影師位置，一齊影一張合照。接住落嚟，我哋有請不同嘅伙伴機構上台，包括有主要贊助騎士集團、中銀人壽、香港房屋協會、和悅慈善基金、華懋集團。有請剛才我提到嘅主要贊助到台上一齊影一張大合照啊！多謝一班嘅嘉賓群策群力，為我哋嘅安老服務咧，去到努力同埋進步。我相信我哋未來即使遇到幾多嘅難關，都一定能夠迎難而上。